Hello and welcome back to Mellohi, a DSMP podcast. This is episode 40 and today we're discussing future tales from the SMP settings and debating events from DSMP history. As always, we refer to the characters by name and specify when we're talking about the writers, and we also try and focus on analysis. Alright, we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
I figured we'd start off with discussing the question of the week from last week.
Yeah. We should restate the question, which was, what's a cool setting for future Tales from the SMP episode? And what kind of connections do you think the next episode will have to previous episodes? So,
Alright, so the first one is, it would be cool if it's in the future seeing the ruins of one of the current nations, possibly Kanoko Kingdom, and seeing how Carl will react.
Listen, if we could have had a Tales episode that was, before Doomsday, I don't know if that would have worked. I don't remember when Tales started, but before Doomsday, that was, ages in the future, and it's just the absolutely, destroyed wreck of L'Manberg, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I don't
so
think
cool.
Tales started before Doomsday, unfortunately.
Oh.
Sad. It would have been so cool, especially if they did that, that episode, and then, had Doomsday happen, a few weeks later, oh, can you imagine? We would have all been freaking out. Rightfully so. But I'd also love to see Tales episode where, Lost Nevadas or Kanoko Kingdom's, ruins were there.
Kanoko Kingdom.
I kind of thought the last one, the maze episode, when they were in the desert part, I was like, oh, that Sphinx kind of looks like the Sphinx that Foolish has at his summer home. And I was like, ooh, could this be a link? And then I was like, nah, it's probably just that there's not that many ways to make cool looking Sphinxes in Minecraft. Or, I don't know, maybe Carl asked Foolish to build it. That part, I don't know. And I was like, oh my god. Look, connections everywhere. I was wrong.
Yeah.
They were in love.
I mean, I feel like Kanoko and, if they were to do a ruins thing, they would probably have to, set up borders and then other stuff around, and then maybe add more things to the country, the stuff that's already there, because compared to the current Tales of the SMP stuff, DSMP builds are kind of small.
Yeah.
That's true. I think, Summer Home's probably the biggest, I want to say, of, multiple large builds all in one spot, but I don't know, I feel like...
it wouldn't be a surprise if, in the future there was just more things added, because it's Foolish.
Yeah, true. I think it's hard to do that, because the server's always changing, so it's but I don't know, in a way, that's interesting. I don't know, I like the idea, though.
Right, so the next one suggestion is just anything to do with the egg.
Yes!
Seeing the egg show up in Tales was really cool, and personally I also want to see it again.
Literally.
I want to see the egg.
Easy bet. I don't think there's a single person who would turn down an egg episode.
Unless they're
a
downer or something.
God, the mansion, the reveal, we knew it was a murder mystery, but then the reveal that the murderer was freaking the egg.
That was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I was like, let's go.
It was so good.
It was so fucking cool.
I want more egg. Bring back the egg.
Egg.
Egg, my beloved.
Egg, my beloved. I'm not a Dream fan. I'm an egg fan.
That's
I don't care about the
literally
characters. I want the egg.
An egg apologist. It can just consume the server.
I'm an egg
Yeah, it
fan
can.
first.
Go for it.
Dream fan second.
It's just doing what comes natural.
Exactly. It's like the Onceler from the lore.
Oh my god.
It's just doing what comes naturally.
Oh fuck. How bad could I possibly be? That's the eggs theme song. It's just
Can't it be? I know people I think have used it for Schlatt,
which fit
that's
really
cool.
well.
It worked so well. But it would be so funny to have a creepy, you know how a lot of movie trailers lately take these pop hits
and then
from
they make them creepy.
the 90s and then they make them creepy. Yeah, I want someone to take How Bad Can I Be, remix it to be creepy kind and angsty and spooky,
do it for Bad Boy
and then
Halo.
Do it for Bad Boy Halo.
Do
You
it
put
for-
so much work into the egg. Damn it. Do it for Bad Boy
The
Halo.
fucking real.
Someone make that song creepy and make an animation of the egg taking
That'd
over.
be really cool.
The egg and the character Bad Boy Halo, because like, dude, it also really fits Bad's personality. Because like,
Yeah.
I've said it before and I've said it again, but character Bad is like the definition of affably evil. He's amazing.
Oh, we love
love
Bad
it.
Boy Halo. In all variations, character and content creator. He's just a good muffin.
He is a good muffin.
Yeah. Alright, okay. So egg, obviously. What's the next one? I see one. Can I say it?
Sure.
They said, I think I would be interested in a lab maybe, like with human experimentations. Not just humans, but experimentations with like sentient beings. And I like that one because I don't think, I don't know if we've had, like, I guess the end of like the murder, the mansion was like the creepiest one.
Yeah.
And I think there were some creepy moments in the maze recently. But I think if you want to like up and like go like full horror, you could go for like the like abandoned laboratory that's like decrepit and there's like other survivors, like zombie apocalypse style.
Control 2 vibes.
Yeah, and like these like Stranger Things, like creepy laboratory. Something's escaped and is in the lab,
It's
and you
Tommy
have to
in
get
it.
out. Yeah. No, that is what I thought when I saw that. Was like, there is that like really popular headcanon or whatever that like Tommy was made in a lab.
He's a
and I was
little
like,
lab
ooh,
experiment.
you could do like a really fun, like assuming like content creator Tommy was like okay with that. You know, sort of backstory or whatever. You could do such a good,
I think-
like, interesting.
I think the popular headcanon kind of came from Tommy once saying I came from a lab, or like
I
I
think
was born
so.
from a test tube.
I think so. But
Those
I don't know.
were
That
one
would be
of
so
the
good.
offhanded jokes, and then it just evolves.
That's half of Dream SMP headcanon, to be fair, is offhanded comments that turn into, or like, you know, like thinly veiled. Like, isn't the whole reason that Tubbo started getting depicted with horns is because of the whole Nuala Manberg
Schlatt.
part where like Tommy was like, if I can't be Wilbur, you can't be Schlatt or whatever, and people were like, you know, these
sort
characters were
of
so
like it
close.
became really popular around then, but it was a thing from like Manberg
Oh.
and the headcanon of him being
It's basically him being
Schlatt's son.
corrupted by either him being
Yeah.
corrupted by Schlatt or him being Schlatt's son.
Yeah. Which is cool.
It's what I really like back from that time. I really like the Tracer Tubbo theories, because those were just really interesting. It would be cool to have like an AU where that does happen, and like the divergence from that.
Would be
Yeah.
interesting.
I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised that not many people like remember the origins of some of the most popular headcanons, because it's like those
It's probably
origins
because
are
the
pretty
majority of the
darn
fandom joined after that point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Finding Joy's post on. Does no one remember how Tubbo got those horns because of Dad?
I mean, it has been over a year.
There is like there's like a screenshot of Tubbo with like 6 wither bars above his head, and people were talking about how some people don't know what that's from. And it's like, it's from Doomsday. There are people who didn't see Doomsday, like, and don't know about any
I
of it.
mean,
And I was
it's
like,
been
oh my
over a
gosh.
year ago.
I know, it's been so long. It doesn't feel like it.
Does not feel like it's been a year.
I think it's because there hasn't been much lore, as
That's
much
true.
lore as when it first started. But to be honest, I'm kind of glad because they did 3 straight days of prison streams and I couldn't take
Oh,
it.
man.
I dropped off after the second one.
Yeah, it was like like you missed the lore and then it's back to back and you're like, no, actually go the fuck back. I'm good. Like you're like, this is too much.
It was, I think, I don't know, when you think about it though, the third season being so like slow or whatever was kind of like probably really nice for people just getting into the fandom, because it didn't mean that they had like quite as much stuff like constantly coming out for them to add on to the end. So like, oh, it gave them sort of like a chance to catch up if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Before having like more and more added on over and over and over again. But yeah, I don't know. I liked third season. Third season was great. And now I'm excited for season 2 of Tales, and God, I hope. Yeah, no, I like all the ideas that people gave us. I know there weren't like a ton of them, but I think all the ones that people were like saying they would want are really interesting. I was trying to think if there's anything I can think of that I think would be cool, but I mean, they already did like a weird Maze Runner ripoff. They did the underwater city and the pirates, and I don't know. I like the lab. I guess I think something creepier. The only other thing I can think of is if they did, cause
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. That would be funny. He goes back in time and he just finds like a bunch of the characters as like little children. That would be a really fun
And it's
episode.
actually funny because it would require them all to act like little
Kids.
children.
That wouldn't be hard for them, I feel like. I think they'd get that pretty
Cough,
easily.
quackity, cough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be allowed to swear.
Both
No,
of
you
guys
can have
So
to
much
get children
irony.
can't
swear,
swear.
but they wouldn't be allowed to like make very obvious innuendos.
I think it'd be very funny to listen to them all try and talk in like a falsetto high baby voice.
Yes.
Because that'd be hilarious.
We know the Dream
yes.
Team can do it because they did it in the Dream Shorts,
Yes.
so we at least know they can do it.
True. They'd be good at it.
Dude, Sapnap's kid voice.
Oh my god.
Sapnap has a really good little kid voice. It's like uncanny levels of good. I think the only thing I would really want to see in Tales, but I think it would be hard. I don't know. It would be like a lot of world building, but like Carl's whole thing is he's a time traveler. So I think something really interesting for them to do would just be an episode where he travels back in time, or like the Tales episode starts after him going to a past event and he messes something up, and then it's like we get like flashes of like current day, but things are way like alternate universe different, and it's Carl trying to get like back to the same area that he just time traveled to undo what he did that messed up the timeline in the first place. It'd be a lot of like cutscenes and like weird like timey-limey stuff, but I think it'd be so fun. I want it
It
to
would
happen.
definitely be a lot more pre-recorded stuff, cause
Probably.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of depends on how his time travel works, right? Because
Yeah.
so far from what we've seen, it seems it's closed loop style, where he goes back and does something, but it's always been done. He's always gone back. He's not changing anything,
Yeah.
rather than being able to change things. Like, he went back in time and was involved in the village that went mad, but even before he went back in time, there was still like the remains of the village that went mad and the house that Punk found and everything.
Yeah.
And then he went back in time and did the events that led to that.
Yeah, every time he's gone to like a past event, it hasn't. Whatever he's done has just played into what was going to happen in the current timeline in the first place. So I think it'd just be interesting to see him go back, because like a part of his whole thing is that he wants to save people, right? So I think it'd be really interesting to see him go back and actually like succeed at that, but only to find out that like that messes up the timeline and the history as he knows it and makes everything worse. Like that's just like some classic like time travel shenanigans. And
It would
I
just
think
like
that'd be
it
really
would
cool.
annoy me unless they added a specific reasoning for it. Like something like he can only change the timeline if he goes back if he's in a time where he's still alive. Or it's something that like it's a special type of time travel that he can only do if XT lets him or something like that.
Yeah, it'd have to
Carl
be very
goes back in time,
specific.
kills Dream, and then the future is just in ruins as Lamamberg is taking over the world.
Capitalism, the true enemy. Oh, that'd be good. I don't know. I just want, he's a time traveler. I want time traveler mistakes. I want time traveler shenanigans. Because, like, there's always those time traveler stories where someone's like, I'm gonna go back in time and stop something terrible from happening, and then they do
And
it
then,
only
like,
to find
yeah,
out
there's
that
the
it was,
fucking
like, the best
apocalypse.
possible outcome, because
Oh.
if it didn't
Everything
happen,
else
something
led to
horrible happens. Yeah. It's like,
Watch current DSMP just be the best possible time.
Oh my god.
that would be
It
so
makes you imagine
sad.
what the worst timeline is. Like, Jesus.
Oh my... I don't know, I feel like I can think of a few, like the egg taking over the world, and that, like, imagine if that had, like, the Red Banquet hadn't
Yeah.
happened somehow. Like, the egg takes over the world and everyone's just possessed.
Or
I don't know.
sacrifice.
Yeah. I don't know, there's a lot of options.
But I do kind of just predict the plot of the Tales of the SMP. Carl trying his best to save everyone, only to realize that in the act of trying to save everyone and everything, even in his own timeline, it results in the destruction of everything and everyone he ever loves.
That's such a sad, angst-ridden thing to do. It sounds so fun.
I mean, it's been shown once at least, multiple times, but in actual Dream SMP canon, there's a scene where it's back during the beginning of the egg arc and the beginning of Tales, and it's where Quackity is the egg is messing with him, and Carl comes and comes and gets him, and he's wearing the all white hoodie and stuff, and he looks like something's wrong with him, but he manages to get Quackity out of there, but at the same time you're what if he just failed? What if this is the failure route? I don't know, I always think about that scene when it comes to time travel, because I'm why the hell did it happen? Why did he go and save Quackity from the egg? What the hell was gonna happen in the future that would have affected that? I like how Tails never addressed it either.
That the egg at that point?
What'd you
say? The mansion episode. I'm pretty sure that happened before. So I figure he just knew that the egg was bad news and wanted to keep him away from it.
I mean, this was when the egg was creepy as hell. People were people were straight up scared of it.
Yeah, it was all
and Carl kind of was going through his whole he's losing his memory Tales arc hardcore, and he was bringing it into the Dream SMP kind of as much as he could. And it was interesting. It's one of the most interesting scenes with Quackity, because I always wonder what would have happened if Carl hadn't been there and stopped him. Would Bad just have got him possessed by the egg? I don't know. That scene is kind of creepy too. Just how Bad's talking and stuff. You're ugh. It's just the whole.
The egg was really.
The egg is just so creepy.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. It's cosmic horror. You're just Jesus Christ. It's this entity that you're I don't know how you'd beat that if it ever got super powerful. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I think it'd be cool just the person had it right when they said they want to see more egg lore. You're right. That would be the best thing ever to see in Tales of the SMP.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more egg lore, please God. Every day I wake up and I'm where is it? Where is it? Oh man.
Have Bad Boy Halo come on into the More Egg show?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Please. Get Ant Frost too.
Why should this time be against the egg? That would be great.
I think another thing that would be interesting for a Tales episode, and I don't think they do this because it would be very focused on one person at a time, but it would be interesting to use Tales as a way to explore certain characters backstories of before they joined the Dream SMP, if you wanted to, because I think a lot of characters, what their backstory is doesn't really affect their current character arcs or whatever, so you don't need to see it. I think Apple posted something on Twitter talking about you don't need to see Character Dream's backstory to understand Character Dream, or sort of appreciate his character, what he's doing right now. It's not necessary to his story, but whatever it was clearly had an impact on him, and it would be interesting to see that even if from a separate thing. You don't need it, but
it'd be interesting.
The implications on based off of what his character is now, of what that could have been, are very interesting. And so I would love to see Tales from the SMP episodes that are let's find out how Bad and Skeppy met, or
what happened with Foolish.
What was Foolish's thing in the past, or how did the Dream Team meet, and how did they find this land and make it the Dream SMP? I think any of that stuff.
His years in jail.
Well, yeah, fucking hell. Why is Quackity the way he is? Why is why is Schlatt the way he is? God,
I think another really a Schlatt but past episode instead of like the one that they did where it was like future like ghost Schlatt, whatever that was. If you do like a past Schlatt, that'd be interesting. I think another thing that they could do that would be really interesting is to do an episode where I don't know, I feel like most of these ideas are all like in the past, but there was a few in the future, but I think it would be interesting to go back and then find a time where Dream XD was interacting with people on the world and seeing what the fuck that was like what was he up to, what was he doing, like I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see because Dream XD's God, and he's the one who gives Carl the ability to time travel, so I think there'd be something very interesting for Carl to like travel into the past or the future and see Dream XD still around but doing things and like get sort of that. I think it'd be interesting for like Carl to get insight into like, okay, God gave me powers. What is God like? And figuring out, oh, okay, this is what he does in his free time when he decides to visit the mortal plane. That's concerning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they're just
that'd be fun. No, that'd be interesting. Dream XD is a funny guy. That's the he's a silly like little guy.
The only thing with that, I think that Carl and like all the other SMP people that go on to Tales really like to use it as sort of like a chance to just do whatever they want and make whatever kind of a random ass character they want.
Yeah.
For the most part, and I think if you were trying to like go into specifically like characters' backstories, that would limit some people into being like themselves. Or their normal characters instead of being, Pills or Billiam or whatever, who are still like really cool characters who definitely have some kind of impact on the world, or like Rambob. But I don't know, it'd be interesting. I just want character backstories. I just like to know where they're from.
I just want Dream to like be a different character, okay? It's so much fun. Like, dude, he never changes his skin. The one time he changes his skin for Laura's Tales of the SMP when he's playing an entirely different character. I want to see that happen again. And just watch everyone freak out over his skin changing.
I would love a Tales from the SMP episode where we figure out where not Dream 123 comes from.
Yeah.
Maybe Dream's the one, like his character. Maybe character Dream is the one who's actually from a lab, considering the amount of people and things running around that look like him. Like, not Dream 123 was just Dream with a mustache. Dream XD literally looks like Dream. Like, are we sure that they aren't from a lab? They're all like exact clones. Hello, and welcome back to the Mellohi Spotlight. This week we are highlighting a Dream SMP fanfic author, White-Beaked Raven, on Archive of Our Own. An impressive writer who has made multiple series, their longest being the joint series of Freedom in Chains and of Cracks and Trust, a post-prison What If AU series following character Dream during and after the prison as he attempts to heal and recover from what happened to him, and maybe save the server. It's a really wonderful series that I highly recommend, with currently 20 different short works that all link together, with some having only one chapter to others having like 3 or 4. They all link together to tell the whole story, and it is truly a really wonderful piece of fiction. Their characterization of all of the Dream SMP characters is really astute and amazing, and while it mostly focuses on Dream, there's also plenty of screen time for the Eggpire, Quackity, Tommy, Sam, and a bunch of other characters that are really well done. The story itself can break your heart at times, but you'll be happy to see every single time it happens. You can find Raven on Twitter at White-Beaked Crow, and on AO3 and Tumblr at White-Beaked Raven, so you should go and drop them a follow and check out their series and other fanfiction that they've written. If you have any suggestions for people that you want to see on the spotlight in the future, feel free to leave them in the comments on our Twitter, YouTube, or joining our Discord server. Hope you'll enjoy White-Beaked Raven's work, and we will see you next time!
So do you want to move on to the actual thing we planned for this episode?
Oh, yes. Shall I explain?
Yep.
Okay. Speed debates. I'm fondly going to call it the Great Debates because I think it's going to be hilarious. So, today, in an experiment of the ages, most of the cast here on the Mellohi have fairly similar opinions about certain things about the Dream SMP, like Character Dream, Tommy, Wilbur, Lemanberg, Lost Nevadas, the prison, Sam, all that. We kind of, we're all kind of aligned in opinions. So, a lot of the time, what we show off here are the same opinions, and I was thinking, what would be more fun than forcing each other to be devil's advocates for things that we don't normally agree with, and thus the great debates are born. And the basic concept is that one of us will provide a topic of debate to two other members of the podcast, and assign them roles for either pro or anti, or they're on side 1 or side 2 or A or B of whatever the question is. And for 5 minutes, these two get to debate as well or poorly as they choose. For 5 minutes, they have no restraints on arguing their side. And at the end of those 5 minutes, the person who asked the question and the other member of the cast will decide together who did the best job, and that person will get to ask a new question and a new topic of debate to two other members of the podcast. And so forth and so on, and we keep going, and there's no winners. In fact, we're probably all gonna be losers, because this is not this is not, as a disclaimer, half of these the people saying these things aren't actually going to agree with what they are saying. They just don't have a choice. And these are not meant to be good debates. Some of them might be, but they are not going into this with the intention of actually, providing an infallible argument.
Yeah.
Don't expect us to know. Don't expect us to speak good, basically.
And we have no preparation. About 5 minutes before we started recording, we came up with some ideas for what we would debate, and then about 5 minutes before that, we came up with the idea for the episode itself. So there's no preparation. If someone wants to cite a source, they can, but they have to do it within the 5 minutes that they will be speaking. No one knows which side of an argument they're going to get, or what argument they're going to get. They just have to do their best. I'm gonna assign each person at least a solid 2 minutes to make some kind of argument that they can do. They don't have to go the full 2 minutes, but they can. So that's the basic premise, and this is the Great Debates, which will definitely go well.
Oh, 100%.
Which, I don't know, those are the rules. I'm gonna put in quotation marks, as there are no good rules. I guess the question we have to ask, though, is who's, coming up with the debate topic for the first round, and who are they going to decide and choose to go first?
Any volunteers?
No. No.
I'll ask the question, if that means I get to pick who does it.
You can do, if you just pick for us, that'd probably be best.
Okay. I will go first. Do I have any volunteers for people who want to debate first?
I feel like I'm in high school, and it's like the whole the teacher's asking a question and no one's raising their hand.
Fine, you know what? I'll just pick. Let's see. What do I want to make you guys argue about?
Just go down the list.
That's true. I can just go.
Start with one of the most controversial ones. Fuck it,
Okay. Sure. We'll start with one of the most hotly debated, and the one that I know we are all very passionate about. Doomsday. a good thing that should have happened or a bad thing that should not have happened. And because I think it will be funny, I'm gonna make Sabu.
Oh, am I gonna be against it or for it?
Yeah. No. You know what? I'm gonna be easy on you. I'm gonna let you be pro Doomsday.
Oh no, you should have made me anti. I'm gonna go on. Come on. No, it's fine. Pro works. Either one.
You get to be pro Doomsday. And
Fuck it. Yeah. Woo.
I think it'd be funny to make Snowy anti-Doomsday.
Oh my god, no. Rest in peace.
I can do whatever you want. I've got some funny ideas.
Yeah, if someone else wants to tap in, they can. But I think it'd be funny.
Okay, I'll do anti-Doomsday.
If Snowy doesn't want to be anti, then Snowy does not have to do this one. Alright, okay. So we have Sabu for pro Doomsday versus Sai for anti-Doomsday.
Alright.
I'm gonna give Sai the first half.
Okay.
So Sai, you get to go first on your argument for why Doomsday should not have happened. Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Alright, so my reasoning for why Doomsday shouldn't have happened is because of pollution. They set up that amount of TNT over prime real estate and completely failed. You know the water at the bottom? It probably contaminated extremely. It's got heavy metals in it. You probably drink it and die. Like, at least it's not radioactive, but it's probably still pretty bad. And then again, like, it's prime real estate. People were living there. They can't just, like, blow up some people's houses. It's not like everyone who even lived there was even, like, properly part of the member. Some people just had houses there.
Yeah, they really tore up the real estate, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
Also, some people think the obsidian grid looks ugly.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Alright, and whenever you're done
Also,
arguing your point,
historic. It's historic location, historical importance. Like, who knows how many archaeological sites were destroyed when they just blew it all up to bedrock?
Mm-hmm.
Also, think about how many creepers would have to be killed to get that much gunpowder for the TNT. This is like animal rights abuses. Like,
Creepers.
it's damaging the ecosystem. Creepers are a very important part of the Minecraft ecosystem. They make sure that players are cautious and look out for things and don't just die all the time. So by destroying the local creeper population, they're making everyone more prone to dying.
Didn't expect the animal rights and environmental impact argument. It's very interesting. Any closing remarks?
At least they didn't make NFTs.
I mean.
Oh, and also withers are an invasive species.
Alright!
Technically, it is very, very problematic for that. He keeps releasing invasive species into the local DSMP environment.
I did not expect the environmental impact argument, but I kind of like it.
Round of applause.
Woohoo! Okay, alright, so there's...
I mean, think about it, like, they did have a corrupt government, but they could have just killed everyone. Just use assassination. You don't have to vote the
Oh
whole
my god! Alright!
Alright. I don't know how I'm gonna stop that, but okay.
Alright, Sabu, your arguments for why Doomsday was a good thing.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so Doomsday was a good thing. There's really, like, not much that, like, needs to be said, because it's just, like, understood generally. Some people disagree, but whatever. First of all, minor terrorism is just fun. Jot that one down. Second of all, they bombed an empty city, or I guess a country. Nobody actually, like, yeah, there were homes, but was anybody actually, like, ever in them? Everybody logged on and they just went everywhere else. They never actually stayed in the little dock homes that they built. It was just like a very superficial city that represented something that was already just doomed to die anyway. It was like they just put down a sick cow or something. Like, it was fine, you know? It, like, shit happens, but I mean, at some point, it actually helped people to move the hell on from L'Manberg and the hurts that it had caused. So, also, they should just not have fucked with Technoblade. Bottom line, the Butcher Army directly caused Doomsday. So people, like, you know, I don't know, like, sorry, I'm gonna screw this debate up because I'm trying not to use all of the really actually like good debate points. Fuck it, but I don't know, you know.
Go for it. Ruin them.
I'm just saying, like, they essentially bombed an empty place. Like, the fact that, like, New L'Manberg was supposed to be a home is just an insult to homes, basically. And even, like, Fundy and Nikki agreed, right? You had people who were legitimately just, like, you had people who weren't even involved trying to get involved just to look good, pre-Doomsday. And then you had people who were actually smart, who said, why the fuck am I trying to save this empty, like, built on rotten foundations home when I can just go and burn down the L'Man tree myself and bomb my own bakery? They had the right idea. Like, Doomsday was a good thing. Everybody got to move on from everything that had happened to them. Also, we got to see the wither population go up, you know. I know that there is a hot debate about them being an invasive species, but I disagree. I think that the wither population deserved to go up a little bit, you know. Always good to see more. And the creeper population went down. I would argue creepers are just absolutely a nuisance to every server ever. All they do is blow shit up. Seeing all that TNT get built and having all those creepers, perfect opportunity to have other populations grow. And I don't know. Also, it wasn't even prime. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat the point in this part, but like, what the hell? Like L'Manberg was already practically a whole anyway. It had been bombed once.
Time.
Bro, I didn't take debate class, guys. Come on.
Okay, that's fine. That was funny. Alright, Snowy, as my fellow judge, I guess, we're judges. Who of the debate, Psy's environmental impact argument that Doomsday caused irreparable harm to the landscape, killed off creepers, invited an invasive species in, versus Sabu's argument that L'Manberg was an artificial shell that was only housing terrible memories for the occupants that dared to stay there, and those who did even realize how bad of a place it was before moving on themselves. Who do you think did a better job? Who wins?
I can't decide. Size was funny, okay? Size was very funny, and I really like it, actually.
All right, fair.
Yeah, size was. I'm gonna say size was really good. I was trying not to go into the terrorism funny because I was like that could get me like in trouble.
Terrorism
we did a disclaimer. It's fine. Terrorism.
Okay, I was trying to be like, have you considered terrorism is
funny?
I was like, have you considered that
Minecraft terrorism is funny?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. See, I liked Size. I really liked the environmental argument.
Sai went hard. Oh my god. I took notes on like all the points, and I was like, all right, not gonna top this one, but fuck it.
I think Sabu, however, did bring up a strong point with the fact that members of New L'Manberg themselves turned on the city, which is, you know, symbolic of how horrible it was. That even people who formerly lived there, participated in the terrorism. I do feel like that was a strong point.
It was something.
How did you make that so fast?
Listen, I
have templates saved.
I don't know.
That meme is funny as hell.
I just made a meme. I'm gonna post it when I post the memes promoting this episode on Monday.
Do it. That meme is funny as hell.
I don't know which one it is.
We have to get moving into the next topic, so I think I'm gonna vote, despite the fact that I really enjoyed Savvy's argument, I think I have to vote for Sai.
Yes.
Anti-Doomsday, because the
meme sold it.
It was a crisp,
yeah, the
clean
memes
argument.
hold
It wasn't like chaotic or scattered, you know.
It was a good argument.
It was also
Snowy,
funny. It was funny.
Do you agree with me? Just silence.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, silence.
Oh god, this means I've got to figure out which question I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask.
Sai
So,
gets
see,
to
we
pick
got a
the
list,
next
we got a
question.
list.
And you get to pick two of us. And who gets to debate which side of it. And you can make a person go twice in a row, if you want to, but usually at least try and get one person who wasn't, you know?
Okay, so I think we'll do, Schlatt was valid in revoking the citizenship of Wilbur and Tommy are not.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Um,
With Sweet arguing for and Snowy arguing against.
Oh, okay, I get to tell you why Schlatt got to... Okay, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
down. I'm down.
Okay.
Snow, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Alright, awesome. Judges, who do you want to go first?
Oh,
Fair enough. Whichever one of you feels more ready, I guess.
Snowy, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Alright, you go first.
So
I-
Schlatt should not have revoked the citizenship of Wilbur and Tommy. First off, even as a president, does he have the constitutional right to revoke people's citizenship? Constitutional right? I don't know how you say
I
it.
think Lamberg had a constitution.
True,
They
but
might have.
just judges,
I'm looking
judges
that
stay
up.
neutral. Judges stay neutral.
We gotta stay neutral.
Just let us argue. Let us argue. I got this. Snowy,
so
continue.
he should not have had the right. He shouldn't have had the right to revoke Wilbur and Tommy's citizenship. And if he did, he should have given them time to pack up their things and leave. Right? So he should not have done it. Also, if he wants to make himself look good, he can't just oust the competition like that. So that was just not good planning at all. Like, bruh, you're ousting the competition. You're basically acting like a tyrant here.
Alright.
So like his popularities drop. It definitely because he should not have because he ousted them. His popularity dropped like a rock. It was so bad. Even if he wasn't that bad of a president, if he was elected properly, he immediately threw away. He won the popularity contest, and then he like destroyed his own reputation in like the next instant. It's like a scandal, okay? Also, there's a saying of you should keep your friends close but your enemies closer. It would have been much better for him to like keep Wilbur and Tommy, maybe even bring Wilbur onto as one of his cabinet members, and just keep an eye on them, because him getting rid of Tommy and Wilbur just made everything worse on him, because now he's got like two people who a lot of other people really like and support are just going out there and planning stuff and messing his country up. So like it was just not a good idea. He should not have taken Wilbur and Tommy's citizenship and ousted them from Lamberg. Not a good idea at all.
Interesting.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Interesting points. Ahem. I'm gonna try not to get too serious about this because I have actual arguments.
Honestly, go off.
So,
Throw in a little joke in there.
my opponent supposed that Schlatt should not have revoked the citizenship of Wilbur and Tommy on the basis that he did not have the constitutional or whatever government that Lamberg claims to have right to do so. But I argue that in fact, based on the system of government that Lamberg has created, Schlatt had every right and evidence for banning Wilbur and Tommy. As you can see, Lamberg was founded with only one core leadership position, which is the president of the country, that Wilbur previously assigned to himself without an election. And when he proposed the idea of an election, he was planning to host a rigged election so that his authority would be absolute. This is not a man that you would want in your country. He already tried to show off the fact that he is tyrannical in nature by trying to frame a rigged election so that he could validate his invalid leadership position, alongside a young man who not only bribed debate officials, but had caused numerous amounts of conflict with their neighboring country. Schlatt had every right to revoke the citizenship of Wilbur and Tommy because not only was it a girl boss move, it was the best move for the sake of Manberg. As Wilbur, if he had been left in the country alongside Tommy, no doubt would have only incited insurrection amongst the citizens. Schlatt not only should have revoked Wilbur and Tommy's citizenship, he should have, worked on a contract with Dream himself to remove Wilbur and Tommy from the Dream SMP as a whole and send them into exile ages away. The only fault that I can give this great president is that he did not keep a closer eye on these two insurrectionists, and instead should have perhaps jailed them. But in his position and the resources at his, disposal, revoking their citizenship was single-handedly the best thing he could have done. And I'm out of time.
Oh man, you gave a whole speech. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Let me refute your point. Has exile ever stopped the individual known
No.
as Tommy Innit?
True! You make a good argument there. Alternatively, they could have imprisoned him, I suppose. But given the fact that the only prison they had was made out of cobblestone blocks,
Still
Shit
better
ton.
than
bricks,
Steppy Cage.
I don't think it would have worked.
Keep Nikki captive on a balcony at some point.
Yeah, and she escaped. So really, what could you have done other than revoke their citizenship?
You could have played the quote unquote you could have made them members of the cabinet. You could have won them to your side instead of making them an enemy. Because
See, that's
you
a positive,
the
however,
saying.
the fact that Wilbur would not take his leadership position on the cabinet and use it to his advantage, as he had the hearts of several citizens of Lemanberg. However,
You think
he had
Wilbur
been
would actually
shown-
accept the position though?
No, he'd probably spit in Schlatt's face, because Wilbur
But
is a
Do we
raging
move on to voting
narcissist.
now?
Oh yeah, you should probably.
Yeah. No, you're good. I was like, hold on. I think we're supposed to pick who won.
You guys are the judges. You just take charge whenever you
I'm
want.
so sorry to listen. Both of you guys had good you guys were both they're good arguments. But Sweet came in with sounding like you were giving a presidential address. I think that's the funniest thing on the planet.
I
so
think
sorry.
there's the girl boss.
I was like,
I thought
holy
Girl Boss
That
crap.
brought me ever.
Thank you. I thought the girl boss comment was a creative inspiration of mine.
I'm really indecisive, so I'm like, oh, I don't know who to choose, but I'm just like, I can't believe you fucking, you even did the projecting your voice thing, whoa.
I took
Oh,
so
I
many
believe.
speech I took one.
God.
No, I took 2
What the
classes
heck?
in high school and college on how to give presentations.
Jesus.
It carried me through life.
I don't know.
Just for this moment in the podcast.
Yeah, just for
Listen,
this
I don't. Listen,
Everything
I
in
hate.
my life was preparing me for this moment.
I just hate having to choose winners because I'm like, I hate competitions. But
That's alright. There's no criteria for who wins. It's literally just
True.
whoever you
I'm
say.
not. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sweet, even though both sides had good arguments. I don't know about Sai, but Sai then.
Sorry.
Oh,
Bye.
who do you vote?
Anyway, I just sounds out completely for a second what we say.
no, you're good. We're picking who we think who's gonna pick the next question basically.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Oh
Do you guys want to do one more question or 2 more?
We'll see how long the next one takes. We'll try and fit 2. I think we'll have
Alright.
time for 2. Actually, since I picked the first one, I think I'm just gonna let Snowy pick the next one, because I was the one
we
who
should probably
decided
just do
the first one.
one more, because, like, I don't know if I can.
We've got about 10 minutes left.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. I really want you guys stuck because this is the one I suggested in the episode plans. Sai and Sweet, you guys will be arguing about whether Nikki should punch Wilbur in the face or should they make up.
Oh
Okay.
man,
Who's getting what side of that argument?
that's a hefty argument.
I don't think I know enough about Nikki to
True. I could.
okay.
decide
I think I can argue both sides of this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
then.
I will argue against myself.
That'd be funny.
Sai, which side do you want to pick then?
Yeah,
Probably
which one's easier
What?
for you?
No, I was saying I don't think I could do either.
Oh,
Sabu, do you know enough about Nikki to decide if she should or not punch Wilbur in the face?
I mean, yeah, I know enough to figure it out. Yeah.
alrighty then.
I mean,
Sabu
you could-
and Sweet.
Okay.
Sabu and Sweet get to argue whether Nikki should punch Wilbur in the face or whether they should make up instead. And Sabu gets should Nikki punch Wilbur in the Nikki should punch Wilbur in the face is Sabu, and Sweet gets they should make up.
Okay.
Oh man, you're giving Sweet the. Oh god. Okay.
I got this. I can
You got
do
it?
either
Okay.
side of this real easily.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if I can
do
do
you-
5 minutes of debate with this one, but I can definitely do like.
That's
2.
fine. We can do like 2.
Yeah, I can definitely do 2.
We'll each get a minute. Sabu, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You should probably go first because my brain is.
That's fine.
I'll figure
that's
it out
fine.
as I'm going.
That's fine. That way you can retort to me.
Yeah.
Alright, so I got a minute, you got a minute. Let's go. Alright. On the question of whether Nikki should punch Wilbur in the face, I think that she should not assault the dirty skunk man because she is currently on a self-healing arc of recovering from the immense amount of trauma that he has put upon her. And as we all know, despite the fact that the media reports that revenge is a dish best served cold, the best way to heal yourself from a traumatic experience or from a bad toxic friendship or relationship is to break contact with that person rather than forcing yourself to be in the presence of an ugly ass zombie dude
Wait,
who
I have to interrupt
harassed
you.
you for ages.
I have to interrupt you that your argument is should they make up? They should make up, not whether or not
yes.
she shouldn't punch
Should they
Wilbur in
make
the
up?
face.
I agree. I do believe that they should make up. Maybe not
Sorry.
to the point of becoming friends again, but I think for Nikki's sake, that it would be best for her to forgive Wilbur and to move on well, maybe not forgive, but, make up with him and move on from this very conflicting and traumatic experience that she's had, and to put the past behind her and find a new, brighter way forward for herself. Wilbur can die in a garbage can. I don't care about him, but for Nikki's sake, it'd be best for her to make up with Wilbur in some way that what he has put her through no longer affects her. And that is my argument.
Alright.
Nice.
Okay. So. Well, that was an argument. I personally believe that Nikki should be allotted at least 1 punch to Wilbur's face. Now, am I saying that he deserves to be punched? That doesn't matter. That's a complete non-argument. What I'm saying is that she should be allowed 1 punch because, I mean, let's face it, the server itself is built on cycles of violence. How is she as one person going to stand to break any of that? You might as well lean into it just a little bit. And also, I mean, catharsis of just seeing this man get at least 1 tooth knocked out. I am sure that would be so much better than having to sit there and watch him just go about and having all of these doing all of these things, no repercussions. So listen, she's on a self-healing arc, but she doesn't have to like go like, you know, every step of the way perfectly in line. Sometimes you just see a man who like hurt you and you just go ape shit. And I believe that she should be allowed to do that, because after all, violence is the universal language of the Dream SMP. And why change that? I mean, obviously it's doing something. I mean, is it working? Who knows? I can't say if it is or not, but it is what it is. And I think that she should just be allowed to, you know, get one hit in, because fuck him, and all the shit that he's done. And I would say that, like, she isn't even the only one who should be allowed. But for the sake of this argument, I'm saying that, like, she specifically should be the one to be allowed at least one hit on this dude. And I think that it would actually end up aiding her in healing, because, hey, maybe she'll realize that punching a guy in the face kind of does suck, because it hurts. It hurts to punch someone, because your knuckles will hurt. So maybe she'll realize, hey, you know what? I got one hit in. I'm good. Now I'm gonna go back to my underground city, and I'm gonna focus on myself, and if I never have to see this guy again, then we're good. I got the one hit in, and that's all I needed. And I think it would be perfect.
I
that's it.
retract my argument and strongly agree.
I think Sabi makes a very compelling argument in favor of Nikki punching Wilbur.
I agree.
You know what? I agree with the judges and Sabu, that, she should absolutely get to punch him in the face at least once. I retract my argument and...
You're like, I'm going back. Listen, I was trying not to go too hard on, like, you know, I was like, man, I can't be tearing apart the whole argument. Listen, I'm not a purveyor of violence personally.
She should absolutely get to punch him in the face at least once.
Yeah, I'm not a purveyor of violence personally, but, like, I'm just saying, like...
Sometimes you gotta punch a dude, you know?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you gotta know what that is like, right? Like, I mean, you gotta, like, sometimes your anger gets the best of you, and you just, like, if somebody hurt you that bad and you get pissed off, it's like, sometimes, like, you just have to know what it's like to actually get that revenge, and then you can, like, move on. It's a whole thing. Therapy
As I say,
but
violence is not the answer.
It's not. It's definitely not.
And the answer is sometimes yes.
It's like a personal choice / journey / all that shit. You go to therapy, they'll fucking break it down for you. Trust me, like, it's a whole thing. But for the Dream SMPs as a whole, as itself, violence is the language they use, so it just makes sense. I mean, come on, like,
Nikki
that's
just
just what
punched
happened.
Wilbur in the face with an axe. Sharpness 5 netherite, plus strength potion.
Oh, okay,
Strength
we're
2,
good.
plus being next to a beacon.
I think that levels up from, you know, a punch to murder, but you know what? I'm here for
taking
it.
another
It's still one punch.
He's died before. I'm sure he'll get over it.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I mean, he might
I
not know
had an
it.
idea.
Who knows how
I
long
had
his
an idea
nerves
for the
work?
question of the week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, true,
Go for
yeah.
it. I had an idea as well.
What do you think is the most divisive event
Like,
in Dream SMP history?
like what?
So
The one that
creates
people
the most
argue
arguments?
over
Oh.
the most.
yeah.
I have
What was your
an
idea?
easy answer. My question was sort of less of a question, more of a prompt for people to do as we have done and find the one argument they feel very, very passionate about, and very strongly on one side, and play a little devil's advocate for the other side. Are you really, 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 like, anti-exile or something? Or, I don't know, anti-syndicate? Or anti-doomsday? Do a little devil's advocate. Try the other side. See what kind of arguments you can come up with.
I was thinking maybe have my idea be the official question of the week, but then put your question in the lore discussion channel on the Discord.
Yeah,
And see if anyone's
like a
interested in discussing
plan.
it there. Because it sounds like your idea is something that people can write a lot about.
yeah.
True.
So it will be harder to discuss it as a question of the week.
True. Well,
But it still
hopefully
sounds
we'll have
interesting,
some
so I'd
lore
wanna do
before
that on the
next
Discord.
episode. And if not, maybe we'll get some long responses that take a while to piece through.
Okay, so that's the question of the week for now.
Yeah.
Is what do you think is the most divisive event on the Dream SMP?
Oh.
Or again, Dream SMP history. when I originally thought this question, I intended it as like in the fandom,
Yeah.
but I suppose you can also consider for the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
think that
specify
opens
which
it up.
one. Like, say, I think this is most divisive for the fandom, or I think this is most divisive for the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either one
Because
is
I think
fine.
we'll get a
Argue
lot
both
of
if
the
you
same
want.
arguments for the fandom, but I think for the characters that could
I
be
have
interesting.
one specific event that's been debated for like a year and a half now that I think will be mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye. See you next week.
Bye!
If
Hope
anyone
you
wants
enjoyed
to
us.
see, if anyone wants
See
to
ya.
hear about our other questions, give us a comment and we'll probably post it on Twitter or something.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright.
See you.
Bye!
Goodbye,
Thanks,
bye.
everybody! See you later!
Bye.
Bye!
Well, thanks for listening to the 40th episode of Mellohi, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any topic you'd like to hear us discuss, feel free to leave a comment or find us on Twitter at Mellohi Podcast, where you can also ask those questions or just get updates about new episodes. We also have a Discord server that you can find a link to in the description. See you next time!